if you own a Saab 9.3 convertible like this one, this is going to be one of the most helpful videos you've ever watched if you're somebody who's not afraid to get your hands a little dirty and do something yourself. So common problem on these is these hydraulic cylinders. There is a plunger in the back. It's basically just a stop. It doesn't move, with an O-ring that leaks commonly. Like yours might not leak, but I just did one side, fixed it myself, and I'm going to show you how I did that. And it is super, super easy. It does require a little bit of cutting with a Dremel tool is what I use. You can use something else if you want, but I'm going to show you how I did it, because after I fixed one side, this side started leaking like crazy. So let's get that going. To get these hydraulic cylinders out is super simple. You're going to need basically just a flathead screwdriver, your only tool. You can pretty much do it all with that. So I'm going to start by pulling off. There's a clip in the back here. I'll show you once I get it off. Sort of a one-way clip. It's got one little thing you pick up on. It just slides right off. Super easy. The one back here is a little bit trickier. You have to push down on, it slides over the end of the piston. And then the pin then slides out after that. This one I found to be a real pain to get back on. I ended up moving the top a little bit to do that earlier. So this one, like I said, this is clamped on to the end of the piston. So you have to just pop that down and then slide it out. It's not bad, it's just an awkward spot to get into. Now for the hoses, super, super easy. Now this side has a limit switch on it. I didn't see one on the other side, so it's probably only this side that has that. So I'm gonna have to grab some cutters real quick just to cut that off. I wasn't expecting that to be there. It's got a little utility knife. I'm just gonna cut this off. Just a little zip tie, nothing big. See if we can pop this switch out of here. Might have to take the line off first. These are all the little clips that hold the lines in. Super easy. Now these lines, they are gonna drip some fluid while they're off. The other one. See if we can get this sensor off of here. Hopefully without breaking it. So now that the sensor is the only thing left holding this in, I just got to pull this pin. Here's the pin. Now it's basically out. There's little spring washers that go in here. These are really tricky to get back in place, but it can be done. And I highly recommend that you do put them back. See if I can get this We'll sensor the rest of the way off. There, just unclips. And now we're off. It's time now to cut this crimp around the end, and we can pull that plunger out, and then you'll see that O-ring is going to be totally destroyed. So make sure you pay attention. There's little O-rings that go on the lines, and sometimes they come out with the line, sometimes they stay in. Both these ones stayed in. I'm not going to bother trying to remove those. They're just going to stay there. But what we're going to do now is we're going to cut around this edge with the Dremel and basically just remove kind of the crimp of this ring. Then this whole plunger piece can pop out, exposing the O-ring, and we will change that O-ring out and we should be good to go. I can't take all the credit for this video. There was somebody else, only one other person I found online that actually repaired one of these. And unfortunately, his video only shows it apart. He doesn't show him taking it apart. He doesn't show it putting it back together. Just shows it apart. But I'm going to put a link to his channel in the description of this video just so you can see it, because that's how I learned that I could do this, even though it wasn't really complete. But so it's not recommended that you do this in swim shorts and flip-flops and hanging out in the sun, but that's how we're gonna roll today anyways. So you can see I got the little ring. I just cut this off. You just kind of, gently grind around or cut around. You'll see like a crack form as you do it. And so that just popped off. That won't have to go back on. That's not important. This pin that goes through here is what's going to hold that plunger in place, so you don't have to worry about this. I'm going to show you how I removed this on my last one, and it worked out great, but now that I'm recording, I expect a different result, most likely. So I'm just going to push this plunger down. Now I'm just going to lightly kind of tap. So light tapping's not working. Now there is a spot on both sides where they put a little dimple in it, like center punched it. On my last one, I did grind those off, but I didn't think I really had to. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on this one as well, see if that will help release it. There we go. Took a little bit more oomph than I really wanted to give it, but it came out. It was those little dimples that were holding it. Here it is. You can see where the O-ring was bad. Just a little section where it's cut. It's not a lot, but it's something. And that's definitely where it was leaking. I don't know if you can, oh yeah, you can see. So you can see the step. So the O-ring, it won't really seal until you get into that step. So there is a slight burr here that I'll clean up with a file just a little bit, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, because when I assembled the last one, the O-ring doesn't even really touch in this section until you get up there. So here's what I did in the last one. Just kind of real gently. It's just aluminum. Doesn't take a lot. That's basically it. Now let's get our new O-ring on. So I got the old cut up O-ring off, and I've got the new one on. These are just some random O-rings we had kicking around. I'm just going to slide that in there, line up the pinhole. Like I said, there will be zero resistance until that O-ring gets to its spot. Oh, I'm still catching on where those dimples were. Slowly line that up. Just gonna move it a little wiggle. There we go. That's it. That's done. I'm gonna put it back in the car and we'll see if it leaks. Go ahead. So that's literally all it was. It was that easy. It's kind of scary, I know, to cut into like the back of a hydraulic cylinder like that, but it really wasn't a big deal. I mean, even with making this video, it probably took me 30 minutes to do the whole job. So if you have a Saab 9.3 and it's got leaky hydraulic cylinders, you know, follow this video and fix it yourself. It's going to cost you the cost of an O-ring. It costs $200 to send them out for each one to get them rebuilt, or it's over $500 for a new one, or like $150 for a used one. But what's the guarantee that a used one's not going to be leaking either immediately or in the near future? So I always like it when I can do something on my own. That's why I made this video, because I use YouTube all the time for information, and I thought this might help someone else out there. So hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.